he's a player that likes the ball to come to the onto the bat. When it comes onto the bat, we've seen him against really good teams. He comes off really well. Um, he just gifted his wicket away instead of just sticking it around, just getting used to the pace. He just went for.
Alright, guys, so this is the 14th episode of The Yorker. I'm Roey with another Bangladesh jersey. This time it's Rinat, or is it the same one from last time?
No, no. It's a special one with a Mushi autograph in it.
Oh,
And it's an original. So,
okay.
yeah.
And we have Nafi with us, all the way from UK. He actually stayed up. Now, he got 2 hours of sleep, he told me, but could you get some sleep after what you saw?
Oh well, if anything, that win gave me a nice peaceful sleep. Well, 2 hours of napping, just just imagining all the Pakistani fans. They all. It's kind of funny on the subreddit R crickets. All like I think 95% of the Pakistani fans, they thought that it was India. It was an India Pakistani final written already
Right.
before our game. So it was nice to see that just like washed away.
Right. So I have a confession. For the first time, I actually went to Pack Passion to check it out because I just couldn't help myself. I wanted
So did I.
I had to reactivate my old account because I have an old account there, so I could just spy on them. And
yeah, I just had to know what those, what they were thinking, and like you said, Nafi, they, I think someone made a thread, the final thread, Pakistan.
Yeah.
Well, that's not happening.
Yeah. I remember there's a poster. I think there's a poster who said, "Oh, we regarding Afghanistan, Bangladesh." He said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll beat those teams 9.5 out of 10 times. Let's think about the India-Pakistan final because that's what's important." All right, you can think about that whenever it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, how long should we spend on Pakistan and when should we move on to India? Because that's another hurdle, which is really tough, and we always come up short. We always get the short end of the stick. And for me, if you ask me, I know there's some fans out there who always want to resort to conspiracy theory with the BCCI and whatnot. I'm not one of those guys. I really genuinely think we come up short, and they always get the better of us. What do you think, Rina?
Well, India is actually, if I'm honest, it's the most professional team out there. I mean, I'm not a fan of India. It's one of the teams I would never support, but I still can't deny the fact that they are one of the most professional sides. I mean, when you just look at their body language, when you just look at how they approach a game, how they prepare for a game, each and every player, they are a very professional and skilled side. But yeah, I don't think there's any conspiracy theory or anything like that. It's just pure sportsmanship. It's professionalism.
Right. However, that being said, they did have the easiest schedule. So I don't know. I think they'll come in. Yeah, go ahead.
You have to consider, like, at the end of the day, broadcasters they will look where the money is, and they will schedule games where the maximum revenue can be made. So, for example, if the matches with Pakistan and India, they will likely get like the weekend day, so they can get more viewers. I think that's par for the course, you know. Whether that goes compromises the integrity of the game, I don't think that's a thing. I mean, it's just like
it is interesting, however, because Bangladesh has got a growing middle class as well, and a
Mm.
lot of these companies like Walton, they also sponsor not just domestic tours, but the even foreign tours. So they also have financial muscle. So it's not. I think it works out. India, Bangladesh, it's a rivalry, and uh, even the
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. I mean, sorry to interrupt, but
No,
yeah,
no, go ahead.
there's definitely there's money obviously there for the for an India Bangladesh final obviously
Right.
as well. However, I don't feel like the authorities in charge of our sponsorships and our finance they use their financial muscle enough to put the case towards of how much money the
Right.
Bangladeshi market can actually bring in. Um, but you have to say that Star Sports definitely has lost like a lot of money because an India Pakistan final is not happening. That's definitely a fact considered compared to a Bangladesh India final.
I just think there could be a lag because Pakistan's population is more than us.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
briefly 200 million versus we're like 160 million. But we're catching up pretty fast, and I think the India-Pakistan rivalry could soon be replaced, and maybe this is just the beginning. This reminds me, I was reading on the forum, there are two branches of pot.
Mm.
Some people were saying that yeah, we should have expected this to begin with. Have you looked at Pakistan except the odd Champions Trophy run they had? They really, other than that, they
Mm.
faced easier teams, so we should have
Yeah.
expected it. But and there was another crowd that had it 50-50. But after we won, of course, and they came out and saying that yeah, it was obvious we were supposed to win to begin with. Rinat, you did predict in our panel last time. It was 2-1. You and Ringo did predict the Bangladesh win. How'd you? Well, except from speaking from your heart, how'd you actually come up with that? Because you turned out to be right. We did win.
Well, first of all, when I made that prediction, I did not know that Shaki's going to be out of the game. Right, that was a last minute call, and it was a shocker of a call for most of the fans. Because and we saw it today that he is a big piece. Like he's an equal contributor with both the bat and ball. So we did not anticipate that. But having said that, I just feel like Bangladesh is just that team. It's a momentum team. They won the last game, and a lot of people might say it's a fluke win, but I don't think so. Uh, Bangladesh were only starting to lose the game in the last few overs, and they got it back in the very last over. But other than that, I thought Bangladesh was the players were putting a genuine effort to win the game. So I just thought that knowing Bangladesh, they are gonna try to continue that effort, and they did. I think they even upped their effort by another level today, and that's how they won because it was gonna be very difficult without Tamim and Shakib to win this game. So it's just that mere fact that Bangladesh is a momentum team, and I just expected them to carry on the momentum which they did.
Right. Nafi, how'd you feel about the performances of this team? Say Shomo, he got a duck. He did
Um.
contribute with the ball.
Wait. Well, with soccer, I think it was just the fact that he wasn't used to the pace of the pitch and he didn't play to the pace of the pitch. He wasn't middling the ball. He was hitting it. He just wasn't coming onto the bat. And he's a player that likes the ball to come to the onto the bat. When it comes onto the bat, we've seen him against really good teams. He comes off really well. Um, he just gifted his wicket away instead of just sticking it around, just getting used to the pace. He just went for that idiotic pull where the ball wasn't even coming on anyway.
It's
So why would you go for a short ball
right.
when the ball's not coming on? And you know
It's
what happened?
it's almost like Shanto, the same thing he did. You would expect Sharkar to come in and change something, maybe show a bit more experience, whatever little experience he has, but no, it's back to square one, and we're getting to that point again, ready to push the panic button with these new guys that
I, I mean, I give a bit of leeway to him because it was his first game. He did just fly in a few days ago, and you just thrown into the Lions. I mean, I would keep him for the India game. I definitely would because
we'll get into that. We'll
Yeah,
close this out just like last time. We're gonna agree on
yeah,
a lineup plus three.
yeah.
But Rinat, Shomo with the ball, then another guy who've been saying for a long time he want him to ball, Mahmoudullah Riyad. They had pretty good games. What do you think? Or are they should they repeat this formula of Shomo and Mahmoudullah?
Yeah, like you said,
And
we are gonna get
and
into
I
the
don't
lineup.
and I don't mean to interrupt. Not just for the next game. I mean as a strategy as a whole with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, if Mahmudullah becomes like a regular 6, 7 over bowler, that kind of gives you that luxury of, basically you're having almost 25 to 27 overs of spin in every game potentially. So that's a big positive. That means you don't have to take someone like Opu in the squad, and that slot opens up for a finisher or another batsman or another seamer, whichever way you want to put it. So yeah, and then at some games when it's a fully batting wicket or a seamer's wicket, you can afford to drop someone like Miraz because Riyad's gonna give you that backup. Same with Shomo. There are days when we will need backups from a medium pacer, and he is a guy who has pretty decent line and length. So if he can work on that, along with his batting, I think yeah, it's always a luxury to have these kind of part timers
Right.
that can come in and pick up wickets, not just contain runs, but also pick up wickets, which both of these guys are capable of doing.
Right. It's pretty amazing where cricket's going. Could it be
Yeah,
that a team has 11 all rounders and like
uh,
could
I wouldn't want that.
well,
I
in
wouldn't want
one
that.
day it can
I mean, if they have
be
the
like that.
talent, like think about it, like Ben Stokes, someone like Ben Stokes, because he can do both and he wants to. It's not just that he's good at it; he really has that aggression that he wants to go out there and take a wicket and he wants to hurt you with the bat. So if you have all these players, maybe it could be.
The main problem with that is how do you do your batting order lineup with that many all rounders? Because you can see it with England. They have Moeen Ali who he bats and bowls, but because of that, they don't want to play him as a pure batsman. So he's stuck at number 7, where he's wasted, and we have that similar problem where like Riyadh comes in very late.
That's
Um,
excellent. Yeah,
and
beautiful comparison.
Mushi's never pushed up to number 3 for some reason. So we have all this huge middle order and the top order just keeps crumbling because we don't have a functioning top order because of that.
Right. But you need your best man, because you wouldn't leave Moeen Ali out, would you? You would still want him in there, even though it's really weird to see a batsman of that caliber come in at 7. But yeah,
Yeah, but even I don't think he played all the games against India. I think he played most of them, but even then, like he still has a hard time coming into because of that weird dynamic with having an all-rounder, because you put them down the order, but you don't play them as a pure batsman.
right. Let's spend some time on talking about Pakistan since they're going home, just like we gave the time to Sri Lanka. Uh, where do you think this team's going? Because we gave Sri Lanka some time. We felt like they needed some more time, that they probably wouldn't have enough time before the World Cup to rebuild. Looking at this Pakistan squad, if you ask me, this was their full strength. Wouldn't you agree? This
Yeah,
was their best 11.
I think this was the best. I would maybe. I feel like Azhar Ali still has something to prove at the top order, but yeah, this is pretty close to their best team. The problem is just they're not as experienced. Like Bangladesh were the more senior side today, so with the more experience. But this team with a bit more experience, Mohamed Amir returned to form. They are a formidable team, especially in English conditions when the World Cup rolls around. I wouldn't count them out.
Right. I give a lot of credit to their captain Sarfaraz.
Hmm.
Uh, I think he does a good job in rallying his troops, and he actually gets a lot of mileage out of that team. And it's credit to him that they actually became the champions, and they're still very capable. But any new prospects, Rinat, that who impressed you from Pakistan?
Who was their
You can
opener?
take this one, Nafi. Yeah,
Unamal. Unamal. I can't say his name properly. The opener of the glasses. Unamal.
Imam ul Haq.
Imam al Haq. That's it. He definitely his temperament as an opener, a young opener, impressed me huge amount. In the ball, like he was playing sensibly in the opening overs. He knew that it was a slow wicket. He wasn't he wasn't going for boundaries. He was retaining the strike all the time. He was the run out mishap was completely on Shoaib Malik's fault. So it was nothing on him. He had a nearly faultless innings until that amazing stumping, which was due credit to Litton for that. But he really impressed me. And Junaid Khan, I've seen Junaid Khan before. I think we know he's a talented pacer. He got the ball to move to seam, and that was enough. Oh, so did the other tall pacer Shaheen. I think Shaheen
Yeah,
Afridi.
yeah.
He got the
He was
ball
very good.
to move on to
Yeah.
seam. They have good paces, and with Amir coming back to form, like that trio of paces would definitely be formidable in English conditions.
Right. I mean, I'm not honestly the feeling amongst fans, Bangladeshi fans, Tigers fans right now is that we all beat them 5 out of 5 times. I'm not sure if I think they'll.
Four out of four times. Yeah, we
Right.
haven't.
I don't know. I'm still not convinced. I picked Pakistan, but I'm really happy that
We literally have beaten them 4 out of 4 times. Like the last four meetings,
but
we've beaten
but
them
they
four
but they were
times.
even worse back in 2015. They've improved since then.
True, very true. Yeah, very true.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, I know we're gonna move on to the India game, which is more important.
Right.
But before I do that, just one note about the game today. I think this game is a bit of a slap in the face for PCB, to be very honest. If you Because we have been hearing this for a while now, where not just PCB but Pakistan fans who used to think that, that Bangladesh can only beat Pakistan at Bangladesh, you know, when if we ever go and play in the UAE, which they never invited us yet, and they have been reluctant. Because they thought A, we wouldn't be competitive, and B, they wouldn't get the crowd and they wouldn't get the attraction or the attention from the media and from the viewers and whatnot. Well, they have been proven wrong in both occasions here. Not only did we beat them convincingly without two of our main players, the crowd, there was a ton of interest from outside. There was a ton of crowd at the stadium. So, it's a bit of a slap for
Right.
PCB.
Right.
And I hope they remember that next time they make a claim about the fact that they don't invite Bangladesh because of the lack of interest or profitability. Well, remember this game, because this showed that
I'm
Bangladesh is as capable and as deserving.
sorry. I'm gonna have to interject because I really do think that the reason PCB hasn't invited Bangladesh to play in UAE is going back to the whole. Do you remember when we were scheduled to play in Pakistan,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there was a
We snubbed
whole
them in the end.
we snubbed them in the end, and I don't think the Pakistan Cricket Board has gone over that because they hold these grudges quite
Right, but
personally.
that's pretty stupid though. You can't do that in a business setting, right? You have to negotiate.
Well,
You have to.
no, we all know there's a bunch of reason. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, Roey. We know there's a bunch of reason behind, but the official reason why they usually put in front every time is the fact that they don't think we're going to be competitive and it's not going to be profitable. There's a lot of different politics and there's a lot of different things going at the back which they never disclose.
Right.
But I'm just going by what they
No, it's
usually
fair.
say.
It's
Well,
very fair.
Mm,
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
The thing I just want to say that the reason I'm not gloating, I'm extremely happy. But I also know that Mitun and Mushfik, they did it for us. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have gotten this victory, and for the bowlers, of course. So I'm just very appreciative that we. It's a big relief, you know. I wasn't too sure. I know some people were. I'm not one of those people, so I'm just happy for this win. And so I think we can now talk about India in the final.
It's a
Yeah.
big one.
And I
So
think
I want to ask you, Roy.
yeah,
I want to ask you. So we have seen a little bit of how India has been playing, and we have seen that they are very, very, very. Their batting unit, especially, is very strong right now. So, how would you go about handling them, or how would you go about tackling them?
Well, I think the toss firstly will be crucial. It might even determine the winner of the match. If we can win and put up a good score, I think we have a better chance of defending with our bowling attack that we have, especially the way the guys bowled today versus Pakistan. Uh, Whereas if they bat first, I, I think they have it in them to get an above par score, what has been in UAE. So I think they'll target closer to the 300 mark. As far as stopping their batting lineup, I Mustafiz is going to be key, of course. He's been our main man, so you would back him to take wickets. Uh, Other than that, I think the other guys are pretty ordinary. Mash is good. He can get some swing in his early overs, but I don't really want him bowling the death overs. Uh, Rubel used to be better, I feel, like against India, but these days I don't trust him completely. Apart from Mustafiz, I don't have too much faith. Shakib's not there, obviously. I read that he's ruled out even for the Zimbabwe series. He's not going to be here for a while. Uh, I don't know if I'm going to bring Opu back. We're going to talk about that if he has a role to play. It's with India. I don't think it's just about the mentality. I feel like because we've played them. It feels like we've played them so many times now that we just can't cross that hurdle. And it's just going to be in the end of the day. You need to take your chances. The fielding was really good today in the Pakistan match. We Luton dropped one, but then he made it up with two great stumpings. Mushrafi took that Superman catch. So you need a similar. You need to win all the 50-50 battles. I feel like to beat a mammoth like India. That's we're gonna need everything. Nafi, you wanna come in?
Yeah, well, I disagree with you there. I think I do not want India to chase because I feel like when they chase, the opening batsmen Rohit and Dhawan, they set up such a good platform. It takes off all the pressure and the chase and it takes off all the pressure of the middle order. So even if they get out, the middle order have like 100. They'll have 100 runs to chase in less than five and over, and it's easy for them. Whereas if if India bat first and we chase, then there's a chance of because I feel like the key to beating India is getting their openers out for cheap. Because once their openers go out for cheap, I really do think the middle order, besides Dhoni, I do think the middle order is vulnerable because they've shown to be vulnerable against Afghanistan. They're untested in the Asia Cup so far, and I think there are some cracks in there, especially without Kohli to prop them up. I think there are cracks, and that's if we have a chance, it will be to get the openers out cheaply in the first innings, and then give them a score that they can have a chance of chasing. I feel like something even 270 is chaseable, be very difficult, but even anything below 270 is there's a chance.
Right. It's just that the way we have batted so far in this tournament, I've completely lost. I just have a lack of faith in the guys, except Raheem. He's been really good, and maybe you could expect another. I'm laughing because I've been a long time hater of Raheem, but man,
Yeah,
he's come a long way.
yeah, he has. He has he has suffered a lot of criticism from a lot of people from BC for a long time. I remember there was the whole Golden Boy meme and everything. Like, but he's
Dude, if you
developed.
know, most of those memes came from me.
Oh wow!
I don't.
I just remember those days.
We
Yeah.
should do an episode on that. But to focus on this match, Rinat, how do you? What do you? We can go into the lineup. I feel like a lot of talking points will come up if we talk about that. But how do we actually get rid of their openers? It's a very good point Nafi makes because those two have been invincible. If you can get them out, you're in with a chance. I feel like.
I was giving it a little bit of a thought, and I think Bangladesh needs to target Shikhar Dhawan because I feel like he is the guy that gets to a very aggressive start, which allows Rohit Sharma to sit back and settle in. Uh, so the longer Dhawan stays, the easier it gets for Rohit Sharma and everyone else because he's usually the main run scorer initially, and then Rohit Sharma usually catches up to him at some point. So I would actually target Rohit Sharma. I would go all out against him, and I would personally want to see. Uh, I don't think Mustafiz is going to be effective against him. I would want to see Rubel start the bowling in a rare situation because I feel like Rubel has that kind of pace who can which can be useful in shaking up Dhawan initially because with the style of bowling Fizz has, it just plays into Dhawan's advantage initially, at least with the fielding restrictions. So I would start with Rubel, and maybe from the other end I would start with Miraz just to get that break of pace. But yeah, my strategy would be to go for Dhawan first and not try to go for both batsmen at the same time because I feel like that usually backfires. It has been backfiring for most teams. And we are pretty good in the middle overs in keeping it tight. So as long as we can get some early wickets, I feel like the rest of the innings can be dictated by us pretty easily.
Right. And we have shown that in the past. If we get a first over or second over wicket, we usually make it close. We don't go
Yeah.
out without a fight. And that's very high level analysis, Rina. Very, very, very detailed. Uh, so let's get into the lineup. We'll finish it off with the bowling, and then you can. I know you're already gonna have Rubel for sure. In fact, uh, so I'm just thinking, are we gonna go with a changed lineup at all from this squad? I guess that should be the first question. Because if not, then we can just reshuffle, I suppose, the order. So I want to go with Liton, and I want to go with Kayas because I don't see what harm can it do. Most of these guys, the way they've been getting out is just hilarious, and I don't see a difference. That and Kayas is traditionally an opener anyway. If Shomu and Kayas, if they switch their spots, what they had today, I don't know. Like, what do you think? 1 and 2.
I Where would Lytton go though?
Litton would open.
Oh, okay. So Lytton, it would be Lytton with K's and some soccer coming one down in your lineup.
No, Sharkar would come in where Kais came in today. So 5.
Ah, okay. I see. I see. So you just swap them around.
Right.
Ah, okay. I see. I see. Okay.
Because
I agree with that then. Yeah, because Lytton plays aggressively. Kai's has been shown he can play within himself and just see the first 8 overs off, and so yeah, I agree with that. As long as Kaiser doesn't have a brain fart and pull short balls with he has no right of pulling, then that could work.
Rinat, how do you rate the Indian Pacers? Will they trouble Kais, Bumrah, and I mean, I think people underrate them. They're actually pretty. They're not. They're a pretty good unit.
Yeah, I think people do underestimate them a little bit. Um, I said this before. India is they're a complete side. They do have a very good seam attack and an amazing spin attack. There's no need to take their seam attack lightly. Uh, they can be very effective, especially in subcontinent conditions. So yeah, but I agree with I sort of agree with you guys in terms of the opening. I was thinking of having Mitun open with Liton. Um, because actually no, never mind. I changed my decision right now. It should be Imrul because I feel like Mitun can tunk their spinners very well. So if he comes in, I would actually bring him. I would actually bring him one down in that case, so that he can come in nice and early, and then he can have a go at their spinners. I feel like Uh, India will try to save most of their seamers for their death overs, like Bumrah and Bhuvi. They're probably gonna bowl more overs at the back end of the innings. So, considering their spin attack, I would have Mithun come early. And yeah, if Imrul opens with Leeton, then that's my suggestion of a top three.
Right. I'm just thinking. So where does Mominu go? Does he have a place in the team? Because it just feels his inclusion today felt so rushed, and all of a sudden, it was a replacement basically for Shakib.
He
But
wasn't his.
yeah,
Sorry, his bowling wasn't even used. So I'm so confused about that.
to
Like,
me, he'll always be a test batsman. But what do you
right.
think, Rinat? Do you should he
Yeah,
have a place, or are you gonna
I
bring
think
Shanto back in?
I think so. Well, no, like see, I feel bad about dropping players after one game. I'm not a I don't really believe in that principle, so I wouldn't drop
I agree.
either Mominul or Sharkar, even though I think they both deserve to be dropped. But just for the sake of consistency, I would
Right.
keep both of them because even if we bring in Shanto right now, or let's say Ariful, uh, it's a mighty ask to expect them to perform in the Asia Cup final.
Understand what you mean. Because Shanto did get three on the trot. He got three chances, and Ariful, if he comes in, he'll just get one chance. So better to give a guy two chances. Just playing a numbers game.
If Mominul is not playing number two or three, and if he's playing a middle order role, then isn't Musaddiq a better candidate to bat at the middle overs? That's something that we could debate because I feel like Musaddiq is potentially a better batsman in the middle overs than Mominul, especially against spin. Um,
100%.
so it's something
I agree.
that's very debatable right now.
No,
Uh,
I think you're
uh,
bang on. What do you think, Nafi? I would touch base.
I I would agree. I think Momino is a test batsman. He likes. I think he's the kind of player in the test game. He can play his own. He can play the game to his own pace. He can decide. He can dictate the game to his own to his own needs. Whereas one day he needs to play according to the game, and he has all these thoughts in his mind, and then he loses wicket really easily. Like he just doesn't get it, and for some reason one day, and
Yeah.
I mean I would feel bad about dropping a player, especially a batsman, after one game, but I feel like Mossadegh just makes so much more sense than playing Momino as a number three. Like, because number three is such an important position. It is, I would say for us, it is the most important position, and we can't waste it.
Right.
So I would go with what I think. Who did you have coming out as one down? You had
I had
Mitchell.
Mithun. I
Mitton.
had
Yeah, I
Mithun
would
at
I
one.
would have yeah, I wouldn't mind Mitton coming one down. He's a top order batsman. He plays in the top order in the domestic games. So he should be fine there, and
Right.
he's had a couple of good knocks, so he should be fine
I,
as the number three.
I don't have a problem with that either. I think that works. So you want who do you want to come in at four, Rina, after between Mossadegh?
Four four is fixed for life for this guy called Mushfiqur Rahim.
Uh,
I would never change him, especially since we have Leeton and then Imrul and then Mitun, like all three, like the most inconsistent guys you can think of. You need to have someone to steady the ship at number four, so it has to be Mushfiq, unfortunately. Um,
no, you're
I
right.
agree.
I forgot about him, but
Like
he's there.
number four batsman is traditionally your best batsman, and at the moment, Mushfiqur is our best batsman. So number four, he goes in.
Right. So
yeah,
bring in Mossadegh at five or Sharkar, or does Sharkar have a place in the team? That's something you have to debate.
I think Shorker does have a place in the team for this game. I would seriously consider his role in the team after the Asia Cup, but he just played one game. He contributed in one ways or the other, so he plays. Can't really make too many changes before the next game, so he comes in, but I think he's a more capable hitter than Musaddiq, so I would hold him back. And I would bring in Musaddiq at 5, Riyadh at 6, and then Sarkar at 7.
I agree, but I just want to say it's for Shomo Sharkar to come in at 7. It's just, man, what a ride it has been from the opener all the way to 7. But I don't have a problem with that either. I think that works. What do you think, Nafi? What do you think?
I agree. I completely agree with. I would be fine with that batting order. Saka coming at 7 takes advantage of. He can come in when there's the last power play. He can play more risky shots, and he can play how he used to play it in the other games. How he'd open, he'd go for the boundaries, find the pierce the inner circle. So it works.
Right.
Yeah.
So right. So 7 is settled. 8, I wouldn't want Mirage again, same as last time. He's turning out to be. You wouldn't want to develop him, give him more chances. So, and unless you want to argue with that, I think it's pretty fixed that we should have Mirage coming in as a handy off spin option, getting there
Yeah.
every day. So then the 3 fast bowlers, or you want to go with 2 pacers or 1 spinner. Uh, there's something I have to think about myself as well. I wouldn't
Okay.
change the lineup too much to what you said, Rinat. I don't think you should tinker with the lineup
Yeah.
that much. I'll keep it the
Yeah.
same. So,
Yeah. I'll say this. I I don't know. I'm not too comfortable putting more spinners in front of the team that's the best against at playing spin. So uh, I would just keep the bowling attack, rest of the bowling attack as it is. Rubel is a very, very key component in our attack. Agree with it or not, he has been a very silent performer, I believe, in the last few months or even a few years. He has a knack of getting wickets in crucial time, getting breakthroughs, and against big opponents too. He's not someone that racked up his wickets against Zimbabwe or lower teams. He is a very handy guy, especially when you see Mashrafi and Mustafiz who operates who operates from a lack of pace point of view. You have that variation coming in where Rubel just aims at the body. So it's a nice mix, and I think it really works between the 3 of them. So I would just keep the bowling attack as it is.
right. I mean, hey, I'm a big fan of Rubel. It's just that when I come to I feel bad for Opu getting left out, and I also think of all the people who say things during the games, like today's game. Some people were saying, "Oh, we could have used Opu at this time," when they make comments like that. So I try to taking the whole.
Let me tell you, don't feel bad for Opu. We have Zimbabwe and West Indies is coming up,
I'm not
and
watching.
this guy is gonna bowl with his eyes closed, and he's gonna get like 20 wickets every series. Just watch if he gets to play. Like, this guy's gonna have a feast against these 2
Listen,
teams at home. So I wouldn't feel bad.
hey, I've decided I'm not gonna watch the Zim series. Mufi, if you're watching this, please come in and take over, cause I don't know. We could play Sri Lanka again, but same old Zim. Oh man, I wish we could play Afghanistan. I would love to play challenge Afghanistan and see where we rank, because I really rate them highly.
We'd have to play them if it's a Afghanistan home series. We'd have to play them in UAE, though, wouldn't we? Isn't that where they play their
No,
home games?
they have a stadium in India, northern India.
India.
They're Hazard, I believe.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But,
That's where we lost all the games in
yeah,
T20.
Oh, okay.
right. So cool. We have our final 11. It's great. We did it pretty smoothly, I think. Not too many arguments, because we're coming on the back of a victory, and we're gonna keep it going. So we'll close it out with predictions. Nafi, I'll let you have a first crack. What do you think is gonna happen? Put you on the spot.
As a disclaimer, okay, for the Pakistan game, I thought Bangladesh would comfortably win. I actually thought the win would be easier than it actually was today. That's knowing we had Sakib, so it kind of played out without Saqib, it was a bit more difficult. But for the India game, I'm not as confident. I really do not think we can get rid of Rohit and Dhawan easily. Mustafizur is not. He's not getting the ball to swing back in. I don't think we're going to open with Rubel, even though that's a good idea because Rubel could get some early seam movement and it could cause some problems. So I am predicting. I'm predicting a tight victory by India, but not by much. Not by much. We'll ride them close.
Right.
Yeah.
Rinat, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Like I would, as a Bangladeshi fan, I would hope that we win the game. But if I were to look at it from a neutral point of view, the chances are really skewed, like almost 80-20. Especially with two of our main guys out of the scene. Having said that, if I were Bangladesh, if I were Mashrafi, I would just take a lot of chances. I would take a lot of chances. If required, I would throw in Miraz at the top order. If required, I would bring in Riyad at the first 10 overs and have him go get a shot against Dhawan. I would take my chances because I'm automatically expected to lose, almost expected to lose. So in order to win, they would have to do something out of the box, have to do something different with all the basics right in addition. So let's see how it pans out. But if they can carry the energy, especially on the field, I think it's going to be a good game regardless.
Right. And maybe I should change the question in the future with your predictions because really it's more like a pep talk for most of these teams. You just want them to do their best and
Yeah.
whatever comes out of it. I don't really. I would love to be wrong. If you want me, if you put me on the spot, I'm going to say India. But I would love to be wrong. Just like I was
Yeah.
wrong today, I picked Pakistan, and they surprised me. This is a team that can beat anyone on their day, but they will rely on their main man, that is Raheem. And if they can get the same type of performance from Mustafiz, hey, listen, if they have this exact same type of performance as they had today, then India's not winning this. They're not getting back. They won't be able to handle Raheem or Mustafiz. But will they step up? Will they take it upon themselves to prove a point? That remains to be seen. Uh,
I'm gonna ask you guys one question. Just something popped up in my mind. What are you guys thinking about bringing Riyadh at number 3?
No, he's Riyad just can't deal with seam movement, swing, and genuine seam bowling.
Well, clearly he can. For if you think about the Champions Trophy and the World Cup,
I mean, when he gets his eye in, he can, but not
yeah,
I don't
not
think
not
we're
not
not.
during a power play.
I don't think we'll ever solve the mystery of the three. We'll keep struggling. Riyadh, the thing is, he's been doing really good actually in his position. So why
yeah,
ruin it? I mean, just keep him there. He's been even when he's been getting out, like with the low
yeah.
scores, he still looks to be what I call autopilot. He comes in, rotates his strike immediately. Him and Raheem, those two guys are able to do this, which I wish more people would pick up. Even Tamim gets bogged down when he's there, but I really appreciate a guy who could come right in and take a single right off the bat. So
Yeah, it's true. The only reason I threw it out is because I'm just tired of the idea of being 3 down without any score. Like it's every single game we're seeing that, and then it's just a desperate suggestion out of there. I know that Riyad's been doing really well in his usual spot, but yeah, I just wanted to throw it out. But yeah, it's good to get that input.
well, you
I
know what?
personally agree with you guys.
Yeah, but you know what? We did pick Mithun for number three, so let's hope he can make
Yeah,
it 3 out of 5
yeah,
because he had 2 bad games, 2 good games. Let's hope he makes 3 out of 5. Uh,
for sure.
so, anything else you want to add, Nafi? Because we've been going over 50 minutes. But I just want to thank you so much. You joined us from across the pond, all the way from
Yeah,
UK. It's
just need my tea. Oh well, right now it's 5:36 in the morning.
I know.
That's
Did you have fun?
very admirable.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's great. 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 Great chatting to BC members. That's really nice. Don't really talk to BC members outside BC that much, so it's good.
Right.
Yeah, and we wish to have you back soon too, right? We're gonna have a bunch of episodes after the Asia Cup. thinking about our our long term and whatnot. So it would be great to have you back for one
Oh,
of the episodes.
Yeah,
definitely for sure. Definitely for sure.
most certainly.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Again, this was the 14th episode. And if you have any questions, you want to ask something, I'll put the description of our Facebook page and in the description box. And or you could leave any questions in the comments as well. Again, this is just a bunch of different Bangladeshi fans getting together, giving the fan base a voice and showing that we have different opinions. And let's try to get over this one. Let's hope for the best on the 29th. Yeah, that's the finals. So let's hope we can win. But even if you don't get disheartened. It's part of supporting a team, being there through the thick and the thin. You can have good expectations, uh, or you can have low expectations, or you can have higher expectations. But whatever it is, it's important you support a team because that's what life's all about. When went for far too long than I wanted to. All right,
But
guys.
if we do lose, it'll be the third time we made an Asia Cup final, and we didn't make it to the finish line
Yeah.
in what, about 6 years or something like that. So
Right.
it would be nice to win one,
We don't have any
Yeah.
silverware, so it'd
Yeah.
be good to have that silverware. Uh,
For sure. One for Mashrafi and Tamim, hopefully, and Shakib.
right. Just made me think. Just go out fighting. Even if you don't win, fight. Put up, make it close. Make it worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you
All
to
right.
both of you for joining. Well, we're not a co-host, of course. Mufi still, we want you back, man, wherever you are watching this. Get back soon. Especially for the Zim series, you will need you then, because I might not be here. But all right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Take care.